Hi everyone, welcome to Blinkit Pitstop, our talk series where we talk to founders of emerging brands. And today we have Sidhanth and Vidur with us from MasterChow, which is a company that sells Pan-Asian condiments, sauces, and other ingredients. Noodles. Yeah. Or nudes, as I learned.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. If Blinkit starts, actually someday India gets okay with delivering alcohol, then it could be beer with Blinkit, like the podcast.
That is a good idea. I will keep that in mind. And as the podcast keeps going, the founders get drunker and drunker, and the stories get more and more colorful.
Exactly. That's how you get it, man.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming here today to speak with us. Tell us the story of MasterChow.
Thank you for having us. And for us, right, MasterChow is something that is not started. For us, actually, it started in 2020. Right. But for us, it goes back 8 years. Okay. So me and Sidhanth have been friends for the last 20 years. And
how old are you?
So I'm 31.
You got 32.
Just turned 30. No, I'm 31.
You're 32 now. Okay. It's fine. You're 32.
Fair enough.
We both are 32.
I stopped my clock at 31. Yeah. So, so I'm 31.
I was only asking because you've known each other from kindergarten. Yeah. So I said, how is it that you've only been friends 20 years and not like, I guess.
So the thing is, I think at the starting point in like the first 10 years, I don't think we gelled along so much. Even though we were, both were foodies as we were growing up, but closer to like high school, that's when we actually got close.
Why didn't you gel along?
He was my arch nemesis. So.
He was actually, he was the cute boy, Golu boy in school. But
you don't like cute Golu boys?
I think I don't know.
Not back then, no.
Yeah, not back then. Not back then. Yeah. Yes, now is a different story. But it actually got closer when we were in high school. And fast forwarding, we've traveled the world together. Whether it's in Europe, we have like fun stories for that as well. Some R-rated stories as well. But I don't know if it's
R-rated stories will be with beer with Blinkit in the future.
So, anyways, coming to 2015, and it's not easy to do business with friends, and because it's a business partner is like finding your wife. It's like, it's not easy. You have to spend the rest of your lives together. And sometimes I think it's even harder than, finding a partner, like in terms of your personal life. So out of all the friends that we had, I think me and him vibed in such a way that I think we can do something together. Let's build something together.
What was this moment? You were having a drink together, you were at a friend's place. Like what was the genesis of this insight?
So true moment is when you are having a drink, ki bhai bar kholte hain. One of those moments. And for us, it was always, solving a much bigger problem.
Okay.
So it was not something Sidhanth comes from a manufacturing background, and his father's does export.
So with Walk Me, the idea was always to have multiple restaurants, right? So this is 2015. We built the menu out in such a way that we can open at least. The idea was always 100, right? We have to have 100 pan India. We'll be like the new age McDonald's or Yo China. And Vidur can continue here when we started mapping out this journey, and we realized, okay, the key has to be flavor, right?
Right.
Neither of us are chefs, so we don't know anything about flavor. So we took a small kitchen in Saidullah Jab. It was me, him, and a random chef we got hold of somewhere. We used to go to INA every morning to pick up a bunch of ingredients, go back to the small kitchen, YouTube a lot of recipes, put our mirch masala to it.
So the way Madan tells the story, it makes us sound like, actual partners. So what actually happened was, what happens is that, look, I tell him that, let's start a business together. Let's solve this bigger problem that I have. And he says...
What was the bigger problem?
So now... it could be anything, right? In terms of the problem that we wanted to find a solution for something to start a business. So Sidhanth comes up to me and says, let's...
You just wanted the problem to be big so that you could say...
Correct.
Exactly.
Now after raising a lot of VC money, we know it's called TAM. Yeah. We wanted a big TAM.
Big time, yes. Yeah. That's.
I was like, we would talk about changing the world. When you click
from an entrepreneur perspective,
Dhanda banna chahiye. Dhande ka scope hona chahiye.
Big business. So anyway, Sidhanth comes and says that, look, let's do a business of black t-shirts. I said, no man, I don't want to make a kapde dhona bechne yaar. So I said, I call him over, and It does. Okay, the way I'll also say it, it sounds romantic, but but what happened was that I called him over for dinner, and I cooked for him, and
He could have called me over for early dinner, lunch, but he said come for dinner.
Because you need to have like a couple of drinks, and when you're kind of pitching a business idea, right? So
and you anyway said that finding a business partner is harder than finding a life partner. So you have to do dinner and you have to cook.
And so I cooked a sweet and spicy chicken, and that was the first sauce that I ever made. And I served it to him, and I said, he had a bite, and he says, Vidur, this is amazing. Like, this is wow.
It's actually
And it was not because he's your friend.
No.
Just
bash him.
yeah, he'll be honest. He'll be honest about it. So I said, this is the business we're starting. And he said, okay, man, this is unreal. How do we do this? What do we do? So we said, okay, fine. Anything that we want to kind of build, right? You have to start from ground up. I'm an engineer. He comes from a finance background. So actually, I don't know finance or not. It's been 20 years.
What I do, yeah.
It's been 20 years since I
Chandler of the
I
group.
still don't know what he did for
Like,
masters.
what did you do? Like, finance and entrepreneurship. Like, okay. He's a manufacturing background.
So for me, I always confuse this.
That's okay. Background doesn't matter when you're entrepreneurs.
So it doesn't matter. We said that if you have to build something, we need to go to the complete grounds. And for me, and like what Sidhanth was earlier saying, quality is something has to be on point.
How did you, from tasting the sweet and sour chicken, how did you recognize that this was a big TAM?
So now I'll get to the TAM. So now at that time, 2014, 2015, you could only get Asian food or Chinese food in a Hakka stall, which was in a van, or you have to go to a fancy restaurant in a 5-star where, you're finding it like, you have to dress up nicely. You have to go and, sit down, order a meal, which is like, $1,200 for a dish, which is no point, right? Yeah. So, and there was no...
Or China.
Yeah, China was there.
China was on its way, they were shutting down.
There was question, was only chili chicken is there. There is, and we guys are well traveled. And for me, it's you build the product for yourself first. If you like it, then I'm sure, because it's not like, I have a exquisite palate. It's not like, I will only have like truffle pasta or something. I have a very, very generic desi palate. Like for me, so if I like it, I know 10,000 or 20,000 more people will like this.
Saying your palate is representative of the TAM of India's TAM.
No, so the TAM is here that there's so many people.
What a metric. What a metric.
That's my palate is a TAM.
This is what they should teach in business.
It's you have to start somewhere. So if I have traveled, I have eaten food outside, and that's how we guys bonded in Spain, right? It was over food, and the kind of Chinese food or Asian food that you get outside is so different from what you get here. And that was something for us that, look, this is not available. This is what we need to bring in. And the concept for Walk Me was that it was an Asian Subway. And so you come in, you pick your rice or noodles, you add your veggies, and you pick a sauce. Now, sauce is something which is key. Okay. That makes a Asian dish or Chinese dish, that if you don't get the sauce correct, your dish will never be good. Because that's how good the dish would be as long as the sauce is good. So we said, let's work on the sauce. Okay. So like Sidhanth was saying, we went to a kitchen in Saidala Jam. It was, we built a kitchen and we spent 6 months, me, him, and a chef. And all we did every single day was just make sauces.
So I have a question. Why was it important for the two of you to know how to mix these sauces? Why couldn't you just get a professional chef to help you out as your sauce founder?
Because what Vidur said early on, whenever we knew that we want to build large TAM, but we want to build it ground up. So eventually.
But why is that important to you?
Because you can only sell your product if you know your product. So for me, it's very important that from the starting bit, whether it's customer experience, whether it is product development, whether it's packaging, whether it is anything, you should understand the crux of it. Maybe it's my engineer mind talking that
or musician sheet music.
Could be. It's getting very analytical about ground up. Like if it's a cup, right? I would understand how this cup was formed as well, so that I know maybe how I can improve it or how I can use it best to my product.
But doesn't that slow you down? So the fact that you have to learn first, get good at something, and then sell it to a customer.
It's like saying that when you're like from a designer perspective, I'll tell you, right? Yeah. So if you don't have, say, basic skills of structuring, I'm not saying that I'm going to buy the manufacturing company or build this product myself or spend hours doing it. It's just about a simple equation that you need to understand. So if you don't have the basics correct, you can easily get fooled in the future, or you can be going into a wrong direction. So I'll give you a small example, right? If this coffee cup, which was there, now if they didn't build this perforation outside, and it's just my understanding towards it, obviously your hand will burn. So the way they've aired it out, it's someone who's understood it. So now if I want to develop something which is similar to this product, I just need to understand the basic equation of how it's made. It's not about slowing down, it just makes my design or my product in the future much stronger. And that's what comes to, understanding the ingredients as well. Now, the reason second to why we wanted to be so involved is because we are the ones who've traveled. So we understand the palate, we understand what's the flavor we're looking for.
Just to close what Vidur was saying, so we started Walk Me with 6 flavors, so 6 different flavors.
60 sauces to 6 flavors.
A lot of it's the way, when you compare it to Subway, they have those 6 sauces.
Correct. And we build those 6 sauces from scratch at some point, and we'll get to when we pivoted to MasterChow. The same 6 sauces is what we're selling. So
all that homework.
It paid off.
All the foundation of spending time in the kitchen, and these flavors, a lot of people try replicating, but we spent like years kind of getting feedback, improving.
One of my mentors says that a lot of failures are not waste but compost.
Of course.
Yeah. So exactly. So and that's how to build a better tree, right?
So we were at 7 locations, right, pre-COVID.
Yeah.
We were excited. We were almost there. We were raising some VC capital. This is Feb, right? We're going to scale MasterChow. Then COVID struck, right? All our restaurants are shut. For the first 1 month, me and Vidur were like, okay, we can't do anything, right? Restaurants aren't allowed to be open. So Vidur did some gardening. I did some of my own things.
So you just had to shut down the business.
We had to shut down because we were more of like a restaurant, right? A QSR model where people come in.
Even delivery kitchens were
shut
at
for
that point
1.5, 6 weeks.
So after 1 month, me and Vidur were like, okay, we have to do something. We can't sit at home, right? And around the same time, a lot of our Walk Me customers started calling us that, boss, मैं थक गया हूँ गोभी आलू खा के दाल चावल खा के, and I know you guys make your sauce, so just give me the sauce, we'll make it ourselves.
So your customers pointed you towards what you could do.
So as like Vidur, like people are calling us when we have nothing better to do, like get off gardening, planting flowers or whatever, and like let's make sauce. And Vidur that way is super enterprising, right? He made a Shopify website that night. Picked photos.
So we guys couldn't like meet and discuss. It was all on the phone. So I said, look, let's come up with a name first, and that's how the idea came for.
But it instantly went from let's send our customers sauces to let's start a sauces brand. Like, how did that happen? You could have just sent those sauces and then gone back to Walk Me.
So we definitely got some feedback, but we understood one thing that, it's like, it's very, very scalable as a product. Like, coming into, again, that big TAM which you were talking about.
Coming back to the same that we were always
like, always about something which
Vidur's tongue and the TAM.
Vidur's tongue.
So we guys wanted to, solve that problem which we had. And we said that if this product or this model is much more scalable, then restaurants, why do it? Right? Let's start this off. If it happens, it grows. It was not like, starting me, let's make a 500 crore business. It was not that. It was just like, stepwise. So I went up to my sister-in-law, and she's from Finland, and she's actually a graphic designer as well. She's the one who's designed all the packaging and everything. So, which we'll come to. But the idea was that I went up to her. I said that, look, this is what I want to create, and this is the name. And MasterChow, right? The whole idea for the name is that, like any brand or any product that you're building, if you can explain it from the name, your 70% of your marketing is done. If you're trying to, if you would have called it something else, right? It was like Walk Me. That's why we didn't name the brand Walk Me, like the sauces brand, because people in India didn't understand what walk is. They would understand what woke is. Like, it was called Woke Me, not Walk Me, by our customers. So anyways, the idea was master, that we want to be masters of Asian food. So MasterChow is how the name came about. So I told her.
So, okay, this is all happening in the course of a day. You called him, you spoke to your sister-in-law. Like you came up with the name, or you at least brainstormed other ideas?
I just told him, look, this is the name.
And I agreed because of what he said.
You want to work at Blinkit?
No, I'm too expensive. I'm too expensive right now, but
Calm down.
So anyways.
Nothing's happened. Wrap up. Khar chalo.
But if the offer is nice, I will still reject it. But
Ooh, things are a little awkward here. Okay.
but anyways, so I went up to her. I said, look, we went up with the colors, and it's very simple to do food branding. Like you can see, Blinkit is yellow, Zomato's red.
Yeah.
It's purely simple, and that's how the world operates towards understanding colors with food. So I said that, look, this is the colors we want to work with. And
Colors भी सोच लिए थी.
It was brewing in us for a while.
Like,
It sounded really cool.
Were Walk Me colors similar to?
It was
It was
purple,
like,
so
it was
premium,
purple,
right?
premium, right.
We realized that people don't like purple because they felt it's a premium brand, so they would never walk in. And we were like affordable, we weren't expensive. It was 250 rupees for a meal. But the purple color really put some stigma in people's head to walk in. So
Interesting.
Even coming back to that point, like you said, right, you're understanding the details of things, right?
Yeah.
So this is like our education from Walk Me, which I applied in
Correct.
an hour
That's
or
why it
something,
was
right?
so quick.
So
Yeah.
it's not like quick, it was like a 7-year experience in
Correct.
understanding colors and,
making decisions was quicker.
Making
because-
decisions.
Your instincts had been honed
Yeah, for sure.
by the time you got to that moment.
And everything, right? People questioned us that so quickly you shut down your restaurants, pivoted to like MasterChow. But we knew for 5 years that what was our biggest pain point for the restaurant business. Why did we make our own sauces? Because there's nothing better out there.
I think it's not easy to. I mean, you had 7 restaurants. You'd give it 7 years of your life. I mean, I think it's quite brave to make that decision and shut that restaurant business, and a lot of people cannot do it.
Yeah, true.
Was it easy for you to take that decision because you were really excited about this idea? Did you agonize over it?
No, we
Did you
were-
thought you will do both things? You will.
So initially we were doing both
Both
things
things, yeah.
because we didn't know how big we could scale MasterChow to be, right? We knew there's a large time, there are people wanting the sauces. There's a lot of question marks, right? We used to manufacture for our own restaurants. Now manufacturing for consumers is slightly different, right? So we'd have to tweak recipes, shelf life, all these questions needed answering. But again, like the foundation was we have to build a large business. With the restaurant business, are we ever going to do it? No, looks tough, right? Will it get easier or harder? A lot harder. But with the sauce business, competition, not that much. Positioning, like we know exactly where we want to build. So yeah, over the course of the next 3 months, I would not say that this was quick. Shutting down the restaurants took 3 months. We had leases everywhere, we had deposits. But throughout this thing, we made sure of one thing. We had close to 18 boys working with us from all over India. And we said, we're going to pay them and they're going to work with us. And the same 18 boys are right now leading
With us.
manufacturing.
Wow. And some of them are like, become
Upscale,
managers
yeah,
with
so-
like, now
But what about your own feelings with shutting down these restaurants?
I think if Walk Me, like, if you go on my Instagram page, right? By the way, it's Vidur Kataria.
This guy. Shameless plug, like Vidur Kataria.
There are more plugs to come. There are more plugs to come.
So anyways, if you go on my Instagram, right, it says First Love, Walk Me, and co-founder MasterChow. So, like for us, right, Walk Me was, yes, it's still our baby, like in terms of, building it.
We
but-
still have one open.
Yeah,
so
we still have one open,
yeah.
but I think we both are very enterprising in that sense that it's not about the emotional factor. It's about like, look, we have to continue our journey or continue our vision or mission, which is there.
That's amazing.
Radhika,
We were
who's our
opening two
third
restaurants,
co-founder, she's actually my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and the thing is that's me and Sidhanth are very weak at numbers, right? Towards the finance side.
Yeah, with 7 restaurants handling that many suppliers, it was tough.
It was tough, right?
So we
So
realized with the new business that listen, we have our hands full already, and if you want to build a large organization, we have to get someone who's great with numbers and can take that. It's a big responsibility, right? Off our plates.
And we're lucky that she's a CA.
Yeah, and so she was a CA.
She's a CA. I said, look, and she's seen MasterChow, and I know her since Walk Me opened.
Okay.
And,
was she a customer?
She
was your friend?
She was a
That's
customer.
also a fun story. So Vidur's brother also runs restaurants. So it's called Big Fat Sandwich. They're also in Goa. Have a
The
few.
story connects.
And he used to do a lot of food festivals. Grub Fest was new. This is pre-Zoma Land. Shameless plug for you.
Well, actually, no, I'll tell you the story, right? So she comes in and she gives me the slip. And it was a firecracker sandwich. So, and now firecracker was the most popular sandwich on that festival for Big Fat Sandwich. So she comes in and then she goes. So I started screaming out for her name and I said that, look, Radhika's firecracker sandwich. No one came. So I gave the sandwich to the next person. She comes back after 20 minutes, where's my sandwich? So I said, look, I called out your name, but you were not there. So I gave it I said, you stand right here. I will make a fresh sandwich for you. So now the sandwich is being made. Another in the kitchen, another 20 minutes, me and her are having a conversation. And on the 19th minute, I said, like, look, I think she's kind of, she's getting impatient that, that the hunger point is coming. So I said, look, I will give you fries on the house. So as soon as on the 19th minute, I said fries on the house, next minute, the sandwich was here. So I thought she won't be like, coming back for the fries or something. She takes the sandwich and she goes. She comes back after 5 minutes. Where are my fries? So now I'm wondering, man, I the fries cancel kar diya. What do I do? So I said, wait right here for 10 minutes. I said, Anant, please fire up fries. So while we were talking, I had fries in one hand. And I said, look, let me make it up to you. I've made you wait for so long today. Give me your number and I will take you out.
So smooth.
So I tried
so smooth.
So basically that's how our numbers got exchanged.
And then they were married 5 years later.
And 5 years later we got married. And now she's our co-founder.
Yeah, she also saw the entire Walk Me journey.
She sees the entire journey for Walk Me.
A delayed firecracker sandwich can
get people married.
Yes.
Wow, amazing. And a co-founder.
Yeah,
exactly.
Everything.
So, okay, let's go back to that Shopify night
So what happened was that I went to my sister-in-law. I said, look, this is the name. These are the colors. She whips up the branding within...
Okay.
And it was...
Does everyone in your family whip up things?
Yeah. Everyone. Like, if you have to get
Anant is
stuff
whipping
done...
on sandwiches, Sara's whipping on
you have to
designs.
get stuff done, do it like quickly, right? So... Anyways, it goes from in 3 days, she has all the designs ready. And
these are 6 sauces.
Six sauces.
Six sauces.
For us, it was not like, the hard part was not coming up with the names of the sauces or the
Everything
flavors.
was done, right?
Everything was ready.
Just the packaging had to be ready.
That's
basic.
it. So we got the stickers, we sent it to Nehru Place. Nehru Place, the guy printed it.
Chawla stickers.
Chawla stickers. So he printed the stickers. We got the bottles, from a company, and now we had to bottle them up. Now, obviously, during COVID, I couldn't go to the central kitchen. So we sent 3 boys to the central kitchen. They made the sauces. They sent the sauces to me. Now, what happened was that we obviously have to be sanitized for food and everything. So I used the house dishwasher. I put 150 bottles inside the dishwasher. And for me, it was like 150 bottles, man, I have to fill. What am I going to do? How are we going to do this? So we started off slow. We said, okay, fine. Let's start off. I'll fill 12 bottles. So the best 4 flavors that we had in Walk Me, that's what we bottled. And so from ideation to our first delivery, it was 7 days.
Wow. And the first order was from your Shopify website?
No, it was actually
so initially the first 4 days, I made a Google form, started sending WhatsApp that, hey, we're open for deliveries. This is our product range, our menu. Then we started getting random...
More and more messages coming in, WhatsApps coming in.
So with Google Sheets, we were filling it up. So every day, and that time was amazing, right? You know, small wins. First day we had 3-4 orders, like 5K worth of revenue. Like by the end of the 4th day, like, Vidur, 15,000 की sauce बेच दी हमने. It's like, wow, damn, how will I pack so much? It's like,
did your entire household eventually become part of this?
Right? And that's one thing, right? For me, I love Excels, right?
Yeah.
I love working on Excels, making formulas, and I'm not very good at it, but I like doing it. And Radhika is champion at Excel, right? Yeah. So she has she's masters in Excel. So me, I'm just making the Excel in business ki agar 3 weeks ki shelf life hai. So then, on that 3 weeks of shelf life, the person will consume the bottle within 15 days, and he would want to reorder again on the 18th day. So I did the math. I said, Madan, we're going to be rich, man.
Yeah. Everyone.
Damn achieved.
Everyone's going to consume so much Asian food, like sauce pe sauce.
And that was it's a learning, right? Excel businesses can't be real businesses.
Yeah. You had this learning when you did not become rich after 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Right.
And people started complaining.
Day 21.
This is
where's the money?
I'm not rich, man. So anyways, coming to the Shopify moment, right? So now we had reached to a point where Google Form wasn't a possible thing, right?
Yeah, couldn't scale, right?
Because we just got into understanding how even Facebook marketing works.
We had a lot of friends who were running brands. We were plugged in the scene for 5 years. So a lot of the people we started off with, built great consumer brands like that they have now. And I picked their brains. We realized, okay, Facebook marketing is the first way, like digital is the first way to get some eyeballs, get some visibility in.
And then what happens is that, look, there's so many like kind of orders coming in, and Google Form wasn't the way that we could do this anymore. So we went online, and Shopify was boosting, because I think COVID was a time where there was so many businesses that came about, and Shopify, I think, was at the right time, right moment, like, that tool which was there. So I went on Shopify, I put the name, bought the domain name, learnt on, how to kind of build the Shopify website, went outside in the sun, took pictures of the bottles, uploaded it, and our website was ready. Within 12 hours I made it, and it was done, and we'll put the link on our MasterChow Instagram page, and we put it up there. And then we started receiving orders, and this was that really a dopamine moment, right?
Of course,
it's
brand
that
acceptance once.
And Shopify has a ring. It has a ting.
Yes.
You got
a ting on the notification ring is different.
So even if it was one order coming in 1 hour, right?
It was
it was so much satisfaction.
It was music.
It was it's amazing getting excited and stuff, and me and Radhika going and filling up the bottles and getting the bottles ready. And then after that, it just happened so that it went from 1 hour a ping to in half an hour one ping, then 15 minutes one ping.
Oh, that's so fun for you. My business growth is my Shopify pings.
It's relating to that, ting, 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 which is happening. And then with these pings going, more frequent, that was our signal saying that, look, this is a much bigger business. So let's kind of look at it in a more deeper way, understand what it is.
So 2020, you were doing your own website and digital channels like Amazon.
We were only doing website till, I would say, December that year. So first 6 months only website. Up until November, we were only doing Delhi NCR, not even another city. I think December we opened Pan India deliveries, and we did glass bottles, right? And logistically.
What was your hesitation with doing Pan India?
We were doing glass bottles. Okay. So breakages, packaging, cost of sending packages, right? And we didn't want
even
to
logistics,
move we didn't want to move to plastic packaging. So we found ways to. So when we were comfortable, right, that a customer will get the bottles without it being smashed, is when we can open.
And were you getting queries or demand from people in other cities?
So we had a famous influencer post about us randomly during Diwali. She got a package from someone. It had MasterChow. Like, I love this black bean dip. It's amazing. And she's popular, right? Like Khusha Kapla posted.
She posted for us.
And then we had suddenly in our usual website, we had 60, 70 people on the website in a day. Like, I'm talking about day, right?
Yeah.
Suddenly it was 1,000 people, and we were and we was I'm gonna be rich. It's gonna happen, Sidhanth. You see, but then we were getting orders from Nagpur, and we were new to Shopify, so we hadn't blocked orders from other cities, other pin codes. Suddenly we were getting orders from all over the place, which we had to cancel, unfortunately. So then we realized, okay, that we should move quick and get to this, right? And the good thing about these orders that I cancelled, I spoke to these customers that, sorry boss, we're not delivering, I apologize, I cancelled, but when we do deliver, I'm going to send it to you, right? And that interaction, I got more information, right? हमें ऐसा मिलता नहीं है यहाँ पे, like in Bombay, Bangalore, and then Nagpur, Ludhiana, like smaller cities.
That was your customer research almost.
Exactly. Right? Like if you wouldn't buy from us, who else would you buy from? Like, there are very few Indian competitors that exist, and most international guys aren't available in smaller cities, at least during COVID. Maybe now they have a little bit more presence. So it was good insights to get. People knew about the flavors, right? Korean food became so popular during COVID. Stuff like chili oil, garlic crisp, things that.
So you have these 6 sauces. You started shipping Pan India. How did you decide what was going to be the next product?
So
we let our customers decide initially for us, right? So when you buy sauces, second pain point that came up is like, boss, sauce sahi hai, but I don't get good noodles, right? I get those. I get these yellow noodles, Hakka noodles, I know they're not good for me, and I can eat it sometimes, but I feel guilty, I feel like there are better things out there, right? And they're like, okay, we used to sell noodle boxes, right? So we used to also source our noodles. Our third packager used to make noodles for
Walk Me is the gift that keeps giving.
Exactly. And the second launch, right after the 6 sauces, were the noodles.
How many variants?
We started off with 3, then 4, then eventually now we have 5. So we have Whole
so we
wheat,
have whole wheat noodles, we have Hakka noodles, which is like a basic, then we have ramen, and then we have udon as well, which is a Japanese thick noodle. So, and the thing is that it really matches well with our sauces. So again, we just took a sticker, put the label down, and MasterChow at that time, the idea of our branding also was that MasterChow should be smaller, it should be more representative of what the product is. And that was the idea, right? So we just got the sticker, we got the noodles done, and we saw that noodles is something that was started doing really well on Amazon.
Because it's commodity, right?
Commodity item, you don't need to explain someone what noodles are.
People used to search a lot for noodles, right? And there was a massive gap in that segment on marketplaces, and then it trickled down to quick commerce as well. So it was actually perfect for us because you buy a MasterChow noodle and then you'd be open to the idea of buying the sauce. So to convince people to buy packs was a lot easier because
You're saying it was easier for people to try something they already understood, and then they had an association with MasterChow. Why do you think the sauces needed more education?
So for when you make an Asian dish at home, right? You require soy sauce, you require chili paste, you like vinegar, salt, sugar, some 10 different ingredients. But with MasterChow, the solution was that you require just one sauce. So like I said in the first thing was that your Asian dish is as good as your sauce. So the sauce is ready. All you need to do is add 3 spoons of the sauce in your meal while you're cooking, and it's done. So you don't have to do anything. You don't have to measure. You don't have to be that chef.
But people might. I'm saying people wouldn't know that, right?
Yeah, and that's how we started advertising. It was called a all-in-one sauce. That was the category that we started.
So we never called it a stir-fry sauce. We said all-in-one. Stir fry and then later cooking sauce. So then everything is
it's self-explanatory, but it has been the hardest thing to educate. But now people are well aware about the fact that look, this is what you can do with MasterChow sauces. So
what percentage of your business is noodles, if I may ask?
We're 50-50 across channels, but certain channels noodles are upwards of 60-65 in terms of volume.
We launched chili oil in July.
July of last year.
July 2022.
Yeah, last year. Yeah.
2022. And how we came up with the product is that everyone right now today is on the phone. They spend an hour and a half, 2 hours on the phone every day, right? And everyone's just swiping, watching the next video that's coming in. So you have to understand what is a trend setting video which is coming in.
Yeah.
And at that time it was, a chili oil noodle, which was quite complex. I said, look, this is right there. This is right in our alley. We should do this. Let's build a product around it. And chili oil was something that we know you eat in Asian cooking as well.
Right.
It's like an achar for Chinese food, right? So that's how we understood not TAM, I would say, but the product, right? That yes, it can do well because here people are getting educating like through reels and through TikTok and stuff.
So you don't have to educate them.
Correct. So, and where you don't have to cook, you just have to use something is kind of works in a plus point. So that's how chili oil kind of came about, and making the chili oil, right, was a huge task. And that's me where, I come in to build the product. And so the actual chili oil, which is today, is actually the 18th try of the sauce.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
we do everything 18, 19, 20, nothing happens.
So,
wait till the next product.
So anyways.
what is the next product?
Why don't you introduce it?
Actually, the next product coming out.
that was quicker than
We staged that well.
The next product, guys, is our own version of cup noodles, and it is by far going to be the best cup noodles that you will ever have. No doubt.
So the first one was Walk Me, your first range of products. Second was customers asking for it. Third was TikTok. And Reels.
Social proof.
How did this? What was the genesis of this product?
So
what you do is, right, in general cup noodles, you just add the water.
Yeah.
And it's done.
Yeah.
And now what happens is that you pick up the noodles, and the flavor is all in the water. So you have to sip it and then kind of have it. So it's not a great experience.
Yeah.
You want to have good noodles, right? So what we've done is, now one thing is we understood that in India everyone likes something crunchy. So there's going to be a topping that you'll get, fried garlic and peanuts. So the idea for this product is, right, that to make sure that you get a flavorful saucy noodle. Now you add the water to it. Like if you see the branding as well, how we've done it is that the instructions, what they say is that you add the water and then you drain the hot water out. So it's like basically boiling the pasta. So here we've made our own version of.
Very cool, man.
So this is our mold, which is there. We built this, from scratch. It's been an amazing journey for us to build it as well. So anyways, you open this and so there you get basically a fork, you get some, noodles, you get this sauce. So this is where our key differentiator is.
Got it.
So generally you have you have a masala which comes in and that masala basically just dies out. So the sauce here is again which is manufactured by us.
I can't wait to try this once we're done with this.
Yeah, we can try it out right now if you want.
All right, so you wanna give a little bit more of what happened since we had all the ingredients set up earlier, and it was you put the water, you drain the water the way you cook pasta, and then you add that nice sauce, chow mein sauce,
and then you add some fried garlic and peanuts on top. It's like keeping the pasta water a little bit there.
Ooh,
that's yours. That looks good.
So which flavor is this? This is and what's in that little sachet is one of your sauces.
Correct. Which is our chow mein
sauce.
Chow mein sauce.
Yeah. So we're launching this in 3 flavors. So the first one is the chow mein flavor, which is launching next week or when the episode's aired.
Like I love the crispy bits that you added on top. I love the sauce.
So now the thing is that you try once and you keep trying again, and that's the whole idea for this.
It's amazing, guys.
Yeah. You like it? Thank you. Cheers. Yeah.
And I went on your Instagram page, and there was lots of Vidur doing goofy stuff, right? How important is it for a founder to be part of the brand's marketing in today's world? Or like how would an introverted founder build a brand?
See, I would say it's just like, just step 1 foot into the water. If you see our first picture that we ever took, right, which was bad lighting, label not showing some angles, using filters on Instagram to make it look pretty.
Yeah.
To what we do now, it is like worlds apart. So it's been a journey for us as well, but this is a recommendation to everyone, right? It's as a founder, right, if you are promoting the brand yourself, it gives a sense of credibility. So it's about, if this person themselves is kind of, approaching towards the customers, then there's a belief. The whole idea is that we want to build MasterChow as not just an Asian brand, it's about a community. And the community here is that we want our customers to be MasterChow like brand ambassadors. And this is the way we can do it because I'll give you a small example, right? This is my theory for it. When you go to a bar, right? And you have a couple of drinks, you're having a food or a restaurant anywhere, you have a good time, it's nice. But if you go to a bar which is owned by your friend, कि मेरे दोस्त का बार है और मेरे दोस्त का restaurant है, you have an even better time.
Right.
That is the essential idea I want to plug in with MasterChow.
So you're bringing a restaurant's hospitality to a FMCG brand.
I wouldn't say restaurant hospitality, it's about that it's my friends.
Right.
Even for me to step up and kind of, do that first video, it was just in my head, it was just like a switch. Ki, what will happen, right? Content life is only 24 hours.
Right.
Even if it goes bad, it doesn't matter. Right? So put yourself out there and you keep learning. We can never compete in like logistics part with other marketplaces. We can build a better brand on our website, definitely.
When you say logistics, you mean distribution?
Distribution, because earlier when we started the business, the website will be, the biggest channel for us. Then Amazon came, let's focus on Amazon because it has the best distribution. So we worked all our strategies. And then quick commerce comes, that, you can deliver something in 10 minutes. Now we are wrapping our heads around that.
I'll never be never be able to.
Yeah, we will have to keep strategizing.
Why should you compete?
Right.
For me, for our products.
You mean when you say compete with your own channel?
Yeah,
is that what you mean?
So we understood
compete for delivery. Why would I build up a channel when Blinkit is there to deliver something in 10 minutes, right? Why would I create, and for food specifically, right? I show you an ad where Vidur's cooking, he's making an amazing Chinese dish. You're like, damn, I'm hungry, I want to eat it. Now you go to the website 5 days. Okay, maybe I don't want to eat it in 5 days.
You're saying focus on your brand and let these people who are experts at supply chain logistics handle your distribution.
It's not like our website doesn't do well. It does.
May I ask what percentage of your business is your website?
So 30% overall, if we talk for a quarter, is website.
Is website, yeah.
And
that's pretty good.
30% is Blinkit now, so almost equivalent to website.
So let me do a Blinkit plug right now. One thing that Albinder, our founder, says all the time is his vision is with Blinkit to give Kirana-like distribution to brands at the click of a button.
Fair enough.
So how do you think quick commerce changes the game in terms of distribution for a brand like you?
Like what Sidhanth was saying right now, right? If you see, we are an impulse category, and food is an impulse category. So if you see it right there, you get plugged in, and then look, you can order it also right now in 10 minutes. It's like a beauty, like, you know, it's a symphony which is happening for a customer journey.
Right.
That you see it,
you
deliver it in 10 minutes.
You eat it, like, and that's why cup noodles is the next.
Yeah.
Like, we're betting big on this. Initially, we were supposed to launch it next year, but we pulled up the launch. Like, okay, with distribution sorted, you can literally, I can show a beautiful ad and send you to Blinkit to buy it.
Correct.
And we're also pricing it very nicely. It's 65 rupees.
Yeah.
We're in line with competition.
Very cool. My team told me that you were already doing 3.5 CR in revenue last year, and this year you're aiming for 18 CR. Is that right?
Correct. So
Like, how do you quadruple? Like, what's your plan? You've crossed 18.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry.
So
What was the big bet that helped you quadruple your business from?
So building a brand, like, irrespective of what social media tells you, it's patience, right? Like, when we were at 3.5 crores till 18 crores, what changed? Of course, our team changed, our thought process behind what the brand will be changed. But overall, customers trust you, right? It takes time to form trust, especially in a food brand. Like, from day one, when you see Vidur telling you that, hey, eat my sauce, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Most people say, no, who are you?
Yeah.
Like, I have a larger brand.
So you're saying it's just compounding of that brand promise.
Correct.
There is no big bet that you
Correct.
took that took you from 3.5 to 18?
Nothing. It was...
It's more about consistency, right?
Correct.
It's you just keep at it and you keep at it, and it should not come, like, you know, forcefully.
Yeah.
It should be like something that is, if it's in your culture and it's in your own value, then that's what's represented in the brand.
Yeah, that's step one. And step two, of course, is focusing on the small things. So, like, distribution is another one, right? Manufacturing for us, because we built it from scratch. So we were at a 800 square feet. Now we're at a 10,000 square feet of manufacturing. We're moving into a 34,000 square feet of manufacturing, right?
Your Instagram says you craft, not manufacture.
Yes.
What does that mean?
So the thing is, you know, when you kind of look at just manufacturing as a business, right? The first approach when you say manufacturing, it's more about like China and, like, you know, building machine. There's no emotion involved with it.
Yeah.
When you craft something, it's like, I would say, like, you know, so from an engineer point again, right? I went to the Rolls-Royce manufacturing unit.
Yeah.
Their one piston is like crafted so well that it looks better than the entire Honda City. It's like that. It's more about just having that emotional connect with the ingredients as well. It's just about, you know, like curating it really well for your customer. And crafted is something that comes from our customers that, you know, there was one sauce which is black bean dip. We got a lot of slack for it because, you know, maybe it was not appealing for a lot of people in terms of black bean or salt, extra.
Isn't this the one that Pusha Kopila?
Yeah, she loved it.
Yeah, so it was a hit and a miss. It was 50-50.
Most people at scale didn't like it.
Yeah.
Very few selective customers loved it.
And we basically got the feedback, we refined it, then pushed it out again in the market. So this is what
So it's the mindset of a craftsperson.
Is exactly.
Even though ultimately what you
It
are
is
running is a
manufacturing.
manufacturing.
And also, our sauces are slow cooked, right?
Yeah.
It's like we manufacturing is really quick. We cook one sauce a day. We cook it well. Like, we bottle it. We make sure that we're not cooking 15 different. There are not many things happening when this sauce is being made.
Like a chili oil takes 5 days.
I have one last question for you. What is your message to new founders? And what is your message to new customers who've never tried MasterChow?
You wanna do founders or customers? You do customers.
I'll do customers,
Yeah.
you do founders first.
So, like, for me, like, I get a lot of people telling me that, okay, I'm going to start up, like, you know, like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do a business plan, like, with, you know, Excel sheets and stuff like that. And, like, my only advice is that, like, follow your gut, right? If you know something that you're super passionate about, just do it. Like, me and Vidur, engineer, manufacturing / finance, whatever he calls me, would never, when we were 22, if you told me, hey, you're going to run a Asian restaurant and then you're going to pivot to an Asian sauce business and then you'd want to be the biggest Asian food brand in India. I was like, shut up. Are you mad? So, like, just...
Because you can't look ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So whatever you're passionate about, just keep at it, and I'm sure, like...
But don't you think that's very standard advice?
It is, though, but it works.
Like, what's your spin on that advice?
No, but you have to persevere, right? You could be passionate about something. You could be great. You would, like how Vidur wanted to be a great singer, right? He was super passionate, but you have to persevere for years, right? Like what I say in something in Hindi is like business tapasya. It's tapasya. Like you have to wait. You have to
Business tapasya.
Yeah, correct.
Beautiful.
You have to wait for things to age, and everything happens in time, right? If we were so quick to shut down WalkMe, like WalkMe didn't, like our previous restaurant business didn't make money any year out of the 5 years, right? Like it never
I mean,
made
in some way,
money.
you are a 10-year-old company.
Yeah, correct.
Not a 3-year-old company.
Correct. So 7 years, no profits, right? And then people would think I'm crazy that we pivoted to another business remotely close to the food business, right? So that's why I feel, and I see a lot of young founders reaching out to me. They're very quick. They're like, I worked on this for 2 months, and I lasted 2 months. Like, give it a few years.
I love it.
Yeah.
Partnership शादी है और business तपस्या है.
But just adding to a point, right? For just from a founder's point, right? Be like, don't get too emotionally attached. For me, that was one of my biggest problems, that I would really get stuck to a thought. It's fine that it doesn't work out. It's okay.
A thought could be idea, marketing campaign, anything.
Anything. It could be anything. Like there are plenty of more things that you can work on.
Yeah.
If you keep dwelling, obviously, I'm not saying that don't give your hardest to that one position or one focus point.
Yes.
Give it. If it works, great. Maybe try a second time, but don't keep at it. And this is something that I've learned myself as well. That look, this is. Something that you have more things that you can build towards. So don't get just stuck to one idea, and evolve and understand and kind of grow with that. So that's like I mean,
Very different advice, but like
So the idea of like our mission and vision, right, for MasterChow has always been that if you think about Asian food at home in the next 3 years, you think about MasterChow. And this is one thing that I've learned from pivoting from WalkMe to MasterChow. कि जब आप खाना बना रहे हो ना कस्टमर के लिए, they are a master critic. So it's like Gordon Ramsay standing judging your food.
Yeah.
That namak kam hai. I'm sure like you obviously know about it. And people.
Zomato was built on that.
Exactly, right. And the review system is like that. If you don't like it, and you'll pinpoint namak zyada ho sakta tha, or you could have made it better this way. But when a customer makes his own food. The switch has already happened. Now he is Gordon Ramsay cooking his food. So even if namak is off, up and down, meal is like up and down, he has made it or she has made it. So the confidence that you get, right?
Make them feel empowered.
Exactly.
Right.
That's the idea. So giving them that confidence is what we work on. And all our campaigns and our journey has been towards that. Look, you can do this.
Even with the cup noodles, you are somewhat making it. Not just adding water and keeping it there.
And that's the biggest connection anyone has emotionally to themselves is food. Because everyone has a best pizza, best burger, best Chinese restaurant, best noodles, right? And MasterChow gives you the confidence to make the best noodles of your life. That's the idea.
Thank you so much, Vidur. Thank you so much, Sidhanth.
Super.
It's been an amazing, I think, podcast that we've had.
Yeah.